All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the first stream. Well, first thing I gotta do is cheer to being able to even start the stream. Thanks to our beautiful moderator for that. As people come up, they can tell me if everything sounds good. It is not the best video, the best quality or anything, but we are live and we are painting tonight, so hopefully a few people are gonna join and we're gonna have some fun. All right, well, I was starting to put out some paint here on my palette, and I will keep doing that as we wait for a few people for maybe join the chat. Yes. All right, so today I am painting this beautiful big boy here that I have been looking forward to painting very, very much. So we are gonna paint it with oils, and we already have on the palette some white, titanium white. We have some, what is that? Permanent yellow light, some good old yellow ochre, and some Terra Rosa, which you cannot be without. We are going to go on with some cadmium red deep. And I don't know if you heard me shaking it off of camera. I hope that wasn't too loud. I'm going to keep adding some paint here. And later I am going to show you a little bit of an idea that I had for the color scheme for this boy. All right. We keep adding our little bit of magenta. I'm going to be putting down a lot of colors because I think I'm going to go, or at least in the beginning, we're probably going to go for a chameleon type of look. So it's going to have some bright greens, some yellows, some reds. We go on and add our brown matter here. All right. Maybe that was too close to the microphone. Whoops. Well, that was a lot of brown matter. We'll make sure to use it. And it is not a huge problem, also because the oils stay wet for a whole bunch of time. That's another red, that's a crimson lake. It's pretty similar to our quinacridone magenta there, but it's a bit more red. All right, next up, let's see. Does the chat work? Can we have a chat test? Let's shake that away from the microphone. All right. Chat seems to work. That is nice. Okay. Okay, this one that I just added, it is called Dioxazine Violet, and it is one of my favorite colors. You might see it all as a black blob, but it works pretty nice. Hey, Diomano! I hope I'm pronouncing it well. Nice to see you here. Nice to... Hey! Thank you. I hope it doesn't sound too bad. Oh, I miss you. It's like I haven't seen you in like a whole day. Okay, we go on with our indigo. So I don't know if you've ever seen the oil paints. I've showed you my minis, but these are the oils when you put them into a bottle. They are pre-thinned with an oil thinner. We go on, we put some indigo. I want my indigo here. So, did you digest the amount of the whole Christmas lunch? Oh, thank you. Sounds nice and clear. Lunch, dinner, I'm not even sure what we did. Okay, going on, adding some Van Dyke Brown. I think I want to go down here with the darks. Ooh, that's about there. Okay. We were eating leftovers from the lunch, from the Christmas lunch / dinner all day yesterday. Is the first, ooh, yes, first time you see the paints live, yeah. Still digesting it. Oh, nice. Isn't it like the second time you have tiramisu as breakfast? Okay, we've done the Van Dyke Brown. We're gonna put, oh well, we need some ivory black in there. Even if I don't use a lot of it. I have been really excited to paint again because it has been a few days. I don't know how many people will come up tonight because like usually the streamers I watch are more on the like late night US times. Come on, Black. Don't be shy for the camera. You're gonna do that and then a whole blob is gonna come out. All right. Oh, there you go. Okay. I hope it's not too cold where you're at. Today wasn't too bad. The other day on Christmas Eve was really cold. Okay, we're gonna add some phthalo green, which is another nice color that I really like. Nice staining color. You might have heard these names if you've watched a lot of Bob Ross painting back in the day, because he used oils too. I think he has his own brand. And next up, we're going to put on some permanent green ale, which will be a lot. Oh well, let me show you actually since you're here. So I'm gonna see if that part of the stream works. Okay, this is the kind of color scheme that I'm looking at. I've done this, so I'm getting just a few random reference pictures, just Googling. Usually that's what I do. I just get a few pictures, I get them up on Illustrator. Oh, glad you liked it. And I just like color pick from the picture to see kind of like what kind of colors I'm working with. And we're gonna do something like that. All right. I'm gonna go back and forth for that later. I hope the sound of the paints is not too obnoxious, but I'm only doing this like now pretty much. All right. I was watching some nice streams too earlier today. It was very relaxing. It looks like there's actually a lot of people that are streaming on Christmas Eve. What is it today? Boxing Day? Depending on where you're at. It might still be Christmas for some people. We're gonna end it for now, I think. Oh no, we still got all the blues. Oh my god. Okay. We have some burnt umber, which I am going to very randomly plop over here. If this streaming thing goes any better, not any better, but like if I like it, probably gonna get the setup is gonna get better and better. Okay, these bottles you see that are a little bit hard for the colors to come out. It's the first ones I did, and I did not use enough thinner, so they're a little bit thicker than what they should be. Basically what you do is you thin your oil paints down until they become kind of like same consistency as acrylic paints. Okay, so I think we got the yellows, we got the reds, we got the greens. We're gonna add some blues now. No worries, I cannot hear the paint sounds. Nice. Okay. thank you for being kind of like the play tester here. It's really nice. I mean, you know, we gotta be all dirty and ugly in the beginning, so when this streams becomes really cool and has like hundreds and hundreds of views, we're gonna look back on this and be like, wow, we used to suck. And you can say that you were the first ever person to ever write in chat, well, apart from the mod. Alright, we're gonna add some cerulean blue, which I like being a beta tester. Yeah, there you go. Be blunt, not too much. Okay. Or like in your case, be passive aggressive. I really liked your passive aggressive present, by the way. All of them. Okay. So this. Hey! Necroned is second. Is it Necroned or Necroned? Maybe Necroned. Necroned sounds like someone called Ned. Whatever. It might be one of the many game references that I don't understand and that you guys make fun of me for. But he's joined us as we add some of this cerulean blue that I was gonna say was a very cheap brand that I just tried out, and it's pretty crappy. Necron Ed. All right. Thank you for that. So we're gonna end with some ultramarine blue and cobalt blue. I know the focus is not the best on this camera. It was a very cheap camera, but that is what we're starting with. All right. All right. I hope you guys got home okay the other day and didn't like have to roll all the way to the station. Oh shit. For my name. Wow. You might be surprised that I had not made that connection. Oh, you've been lurking. That's okay. We like lurkers. And we're gonna plop that one over there. We are looking pretty good. We are going to show briefly. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go on to Adobe one more time. To our Adobe. Sorry, that's just the name of my scene there, but I just wanted to show this. That's gonna be. I'm probably gonna start with this idea and then see where we get. It might change completely. That's the beauty of it, but I really like to do that. Lately I've been doing that a lot. I don't know, Dio, you paint a lot of miniatures. I don't know, like, let me know how you do it actually for the colors, if you just, you know, just do it. I like doing this lately. I'll take, like, maybe I'll take pictures of other miniatures or art and just upload them in here, and you can do it with anything like Photoshop or any other free tool. You can even do it from the browser if you get one of those like color picking tools. Yeah, make these little circles, and then, for example, I'll go here and I'll choose my color picker, and I'll be like, okay, I want to pick, let's see, what color is this? And it really helps to understand what kind of colors there are in a picture, for me at least, because I don't have any artistic backgrounds whatsoever. So sometimes it'd be like, oh wow, that really looks red, and then you click on it and it's green. So that is really cool. Let's see. Sometimes I just choose colors randomly and just change them while I'm painting, but I like your method better. Well, it's, you know, it's whatever method works. I've been doing this very like lately. Usually I just got like a few images and then just painted randomly. Oh, by the way, you guys, kampai or salute in your case. There you go. All right, so I think we're about ready to start painting. So Dio, I believe you have never seen this process of painting, which is really cool. Today I'm gonna use what I think would be fair to call the Wapple method from this other painter, Wapelius, which is kind of like the developer of this method. He's one of the people that I have been following, watching their videos for miniature painting in oils. And lately we've been calling it the pre-glaze. I know it keeps changing and we keep evolving because it's a really cool community, but basically what we're gonna do, we're gonna slap a whole bunch of paint on that mini and it's gonna look very rough. It's gonna look great. And let's start. Let's see. Let me actually get my thing here. So it's got... Let's go back to it for a second. Alright, so we got maybe some reds down on the belly, even some Terra Rosa down here, like over here, and then more green up here, a bit of blue. Alright, I think... Let's try. Let's see how this is gonna look. Let's start with a bit of the, brown matter. Why not? Brown matter. We got a bit of indigo here. A lot of indigo. Right, brown matter. Let's see how that's looking. Okay. Start like that. All right. Slapping on some paint. That. This miniature is really cool. A little bit of our thinner here. Okay. Why not a little bit of magenta? So after we have, let me see. Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out how it looks for the camera here. After we have slapped a whole bunch of paint on here, we're going to proceed to strip most of it off with a sponge and then work from there. All right. Okay, this is awkward. All right. We are still figuring out how this works. Basically, this is the test stream. It's gonna be probably all kinds of messed up. Okay, this is our Van Dyke brown. This is our indigo. Indigo up here. Oh, some phthalo green, of course. We want. All right. So yeah, we are super sloppy right now, which is the beauty of it. You just slap some paint on and forget about it. Oh yes. All right. This is the part where you can get pretty into it, just slapping that paint on. So I don't know, Dio, if you've been starting any other paint or if you've been busy or what. I guess there's everybody's busy around this time. You know, the holiday. Let me see if I can get a little bit of a better lighting on that. Okay, alright. Well, this will have to do for now. Hopefully it'll get better with every stream. We need that evolution. Yeah, oh, you haven't painted Brianna yet? I actually started Lord Cassius here. I did it in acrylic. It really sucks here, Let me see. Yeah, well, you know, you get you get the idea. It's I made him like super colorful, and then you cannot see it, but I gave him like the little red like the red complexion, like he's got like high blood pressure. It's really funny. All right, let's go on. Put some more paint on here. And we're just gonna keep going like this. The cool thing that I really, really like about oils, looks nice, thank you, is that you don't have to fret over them, you know, drying too quickly. You just, the oils, like, they take a whole bunch of time to dry. They take literally hours. You can go back to them. Let me put a little bit more of that brown matter onto the palette. Like, I could go back to them tomorrow, back to this mini, and it'll still be kind of wet. Some colors, they all have kind of different drying times, but basically you just can keep working on them for like a day or two and they'll still be wet. All right. We spammed the palette with brown matter as another person here, a certain person is joining the stream. Hello, Mr. Arcane Static. Have you come to join the fun and watch us paint this big boy? How are you doing? I saw you were streaming before, but I did not get a chance to come and say hi, sadly. As we put on a little bit more paint. Here we get, oh, where's our Van Dyke Brown? Let's use that Van Dyke Brown. And why not, where is our purple? Here. That's gonna look really nice. How are you doing? I have come to do exactly that, and I know you have. I know you have. How are you doing over there? What is it? What? Afternoon there? Noon? I have no idea. Slap on more paint and try to keep it centered. Oh boy, what were you playing? What did you play? Let me know. Or did you stream one of your... Like, I know one day you just streamed yourself in the park with the doggo, which I really liked. You guys got a really cute doggo, which I'm very... what do you call that word? Jealous about. Here's our indigo. Here. Right. Let's see if I can get a little bit less of that reflection on the palette. Whoop, whoop, doesn't really do much. Oh, I see. Nope, gonna have to stay like that. It's 11 a.m. Wow, that's early. What time are you streaming them? Late at night? Oh yeah, okay, so my earlier today was your late at night probably, because I think I was out and about doing some very exciting food shopping earlier, and I saw your Twitch notification, and I was like, no. Yes, I was coming back home. I told Mike, he's streaming. We were in the middle of the road, so couldn't join you on that one. But as soon as you stream at a doable hour for us, I will come to say hi and spam your chat with obscure references to our old D&D game. Thinking maybe about doing like a walkabout or something over the neighbor. Yeah, that would be really nice. With the doggo, though. I'm not gonna watch it if it's just you. Kidding. But if there's a doggo, you know, you get extra points. Doggo tends to get like pretty excited though, I think, right? Ooh, what happens if we add just a little bit of this cadmium red? Nice. Okay, so cadmium red is like this crazy color. It's one of the most bright or strong, I don't even know how to call it, color that I have right now. It's like this guy right here. It is an opaque color. I made these little things, like as opposed to, for example, your magenta. Most of your oil paints will have these markings here that, like, usually you'll have like a square or a the one that's not a square, a circle, and if it's empty, usually means that it's transparent, and the other one, the full one, means that it's opaque. So this means that this one covers a lot when you paint, and this one will be transparent. Doggo cam maybe. Oh, that'd be really nice. You can do that with like a GoPro. All right, so we've been using a little bit of that cadmium red. Yeah, maybe even up on the crest. Oh, and on the eyes, because I think we want to do the eyes a bit more like on the reddish side. Yes, so it's going to be so cool. I have no idea how it's going to turn out. And the cool thing is when you wipe the stuff away, I think I want a bit of, oh, let's throw some blue in there. Yes. When you wipe the stuff away with a sponge, or kinesthetic, I don't think you've seen this this crazy thing that I'm about to do here. It looks really cool when you do it, because it looks like I'm just ruining the mini. But instead, it's going to look really cool. Excuse me while I try to get the inner thigh of this guy. All right. The one that's not a square. Yeah, I mean, you know me. That's how I talk. Oh, the rhombo cubes was 7. Yeah, that's exactly what I mean. Thank you. Maybe like making fun of me and my Italianity, but that's what you get. One of my most memorable ones was the one time that I needed to go get a like a carrot peeler from the dollar store or whatever, and I could not think of the word carrot peeler. So thanks for the heart. One of the things I've learned from when you're learning a language and maybe you don't have all of the words, you just try to, if you can't think of a word, you try to explain it, or you try to come up with something else, something similar. So instead of a carrot peeler, I thought about it for a second and I said, I need a carrot destroyer. That's what I need. And people laughed. Let's add just a little bit of thinner to that. English is hard, I know, right? It's really funny in our game right now how it's like we're playing in English, but only the DM is a native English speaker. And, you know, we're doing our best. Rot Destroyer, yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it sounds more badass. So, right now, this might not be the most fun thing to look at, but just wait a bit and you'll see. This will be really cool. All right. Let's see. Let's use a bit more bandit brown here. Maybe a little bit of that, what was that? A Terra Rosa. Yeah, that's a bit boring. Let's add some green. Okay. And you know, you're always welcome to let me know if I'm saying something silly, because between like being the first stream and trying to paint something and checking the chat, you know, those stuff that I'm not used to do, I might tend to like stop mid-sentence and not go on, or say something really stupid, or say like the opposite of what I wanted to say. So, you know, feel free to let me know if I say something silly. All right. That's really good. Let's see. I think a little bit more of that magenta, and we are quickly running out of it because this is a big boy. It's not a tiny boy. Well, I thought for the first stream it would be good to do this because I already have a camera that, you know, it would like to have a good focus, but everybody has aspirations, you know, everybody can dream. So I thought, let's do a big boy, so at least, even if you can't see the most detailed details, at least you can see what's going on. And it's gonna look a little, actually, if I do this, it might actually be a bit more. And yes, at least you can see it, because, you know, sometimes you stream and you have those very tiny little minis, and if you don't have a really good camera, like in my case, you will see nothing. All right. Anyway, I hope your night is going really good. Like I said before, I am having so much fun. I have been looking forward to this thing for a long time, for quite a few days, because it's been usually here the end of the year gets pretty crazy, so you're always running. You got the last, everybody's going crazy. Everybody seems to forget about the end of the year and Christmas and all that, and it seems to take everybody by surprise. Let's get some burnt umber in there. Yeah, there you go. All right. We'll see if we're joined by any other oil painter tonight. See how that goes. Be a bit more green, right? We haven't been using a lot of green, and this dude is supposed to be green. A bit more here and here. All right, and then some more Van Dyke brown here onto the cart. Now for the cart, where am I going here? For the cart, I don't have a particular color scheme in mind. I thought I would start, you know, seeing how the Lizard Boi here looked. I thought maybe it's got these like curtains, like drapes. I thought maybe purple or red. We even got a little lantern here, so we can try for some OSL. We'll see. We'll see how far we get today. Let's see how long we go, and then we'll probably pick it back up tomorrow. Unlucky. So our kinesthetic, we're using the old streaming equipment here, the microphone, the mixer, and earlier, I don't know if you saw, but we started up the stream on the, you know, starting soon mode, and we did a few tests with the mic, and it sounded terrible. Like, there was a buzz. I think I deleted those videos, but it sounded pretty bad. So we went back and worked on it. I mean, well, Mike did, and was able to make it sound decent, which is great because I don't have a huge knowledge of this stuff, so that was a huge help. And I think now it got to like a somewhat almost presentable kind of state. So here for the base, we're going to use a bit more thinner. And gonna go some browns and a bit of indigo here, which indigo I really like for this pre-glaze part because it is a quite staining color. And I've actually Oh, I noticed how the top cam is familiar, yeah. This one actually should be. What is it? The palette cam. I'm going back home now. Hope I can catch you before I finish. Oh well. Otsukare-sama, which in Japanese kind of means like good work. Good. It's good that you ended your work and you're going back home and you have been a good worker today, basically, something like that. And sure, I'll catch you later. Hopefully, if I'm still here. If nothing bad happens, I'm still gonna be here for a few hours, hopefully. So, have a safe trip home. All right, we are getting close to that part that is a lot of fun. And actually, I have no idea how this is going to look. I have started using a new primer lately, which kind of like absorbs the color a bit more, which is what you want when you paint with oils. So Arcane Static, were you thinking about starting to paint minis too? I know we were talking about it yesterday. I'm gonna get a bit more indigo on the palette here. Oh, thank you, Dio. I like that I'm calling you Dio. God. Where was he? Here. Oh, we're also out of Van Dyke Brown. And we should not be. We get our... that's a burnt umber. Where's our Van Dyke Brown? They all look... they all look really dark when they're in the tube or in the bottle. So I have to really read the label. No, right. No, that's my black. Van Dyke Brown, wow. Alright. So excuse my voice if it tends to be a little scratchy. Winter here is very, very dry. As some of you in chat might actually know, because so there's literally no moisture in the air, which, you know, makes it very easy to talk for a long period of time while you're painting. So yeah, bear with me, hopefully. Okay, man, we are getting close to my favorite part of the painting. You are going to see. So I didn't invent this or anything. It is just a technique that a lot of people are trying out lately, and painting with oils. I was actually gonna start streaming way long ago, like a few months ago, in acrylics, because I used to paint with acrylics, stuff kind of like this. Oh my god, cannot see it too well, but you know, I used to just paint in acrylics. And then I found out about oils. I tried them, and I thought, you know what? I want to get on that train. Get me on the oils. Sweet. Yeah, exactly. Something about humidity. Right. You look like a Chinese bot, but it's just actually just some Japanese there showing off from our good bard that you are, jack of all trades. All right. Well, now it's a little tricky to get under there, and I'm actually not going to be too able to get my sponge in between, so I am going to make the color a little bit thinner in this case, so I can get in all the little crevices, and then, you know, we're gonna figure that out as we go. Yeah, there you go. You're talking about bots, huh? It's like you're calling them. Wow. We called them. Now, it's like, what is that game that you're supposed to, you're like in a haunted house and you're supposed to call people names? Phasmophobia? Like, give us a sign. Like, you know, John Smith, John Smith. Wow, our first spammer. We gotta frame that one. First spammer is like first love. You never forget it. Except I just did. Thank you, Arcane Static. I think our good moderator, which is having dinner right now, promptly took care of it. Look at us. We've got shitty camera, but we got really good DMs. Phasmophobia. I think I would like playing. Yeah, of course, because I love horror. Like, if someone stands next to me and sneezes too hard, I get scared. So, it's a good thing I'm not doing that thing in the chat where people can send you like messages and audio and stuff, which, you know, it's never too recommendable on Twitch. All right, we are almost there actually. If anybody just joined, this is not a joke. We are painting in oils, and this technique will make a lot more sense in a bit. We are being actually pretty dark. Might lighten up in a bit when I strip some of this paint. Let's give it one more minute here. Excuse me while I reach a few very hard to reach bits here. It's not gonna look too much fun or not gonna look very interesting, but he's got like an inner thigh there that needs some coloring. Maybe I need like we're getting there. Like, I mean, no one's gonna look down there, but we need. I hope I'm not getting my face in the camera. No. All right. Yeah, it's pretty dark, but we're getting there. All right. Getting a bit of that rock. I mean, we can always go back in. All right, guys, it's time. So, our key stack, if you're still there. So this is what happens with the oils. There's a little bit. Let me get just that tiny bit in there. That. All right. So we got some oil on our hand. Let's wipe that. Yeah, bad times. All right. So we are gonna take some common makeup sponges. Actually, I need a bit more for this guy here. You get maybe 2. All right. A little bit more of our, what are we drinking today? Belgian wine, but it's Japanese. All right. And yes, I'm gonna cut some sponges here, which it's really interesting. I think people have been using mostly these makeup sponges, but I would be really interested in seeing if there's anything else you can use. I think I've seen someone use maybe Q-tips, maybe ones that aren't too fuzzy, because you really do not want fuzzies on your mini. Here I seem to be getting a lot because it's winter and I have a lot of fuzzy clothes because I'm cold. But I think I would like to try a few other things. Maybe I was thinking maybe those little cloths that people use to clean their glasses, like the microfiber cloths, the ones that don't have fuzzies, because those could be cool too. All right, I think we're good for now. All right. Let's see what we've got under all this paint. Let's start stripping away some. Let's see, let's get here. And here we go. We are getting most of the paint off. And what this is doing, it is leaving a layer of wet oil paint. I don't know if you can see that. It's leaving some paint in the recesses and also staining the miniature. And basically we're giving it a nice, let me see. There you go, a bit brighter. Yeah, that's wild, isn't it? Let's see. Yeah. If you use the right primer, it is gonna stain it and leave some paint in the recesses. So then you can go over it again with oils, with fresh oils. Saved. And it's gonna blend. It's gonna blend on the miniature. Which blending is exactly the opposite of what acrylic paints do, which is also why I am now painting with oils. All right, see there we got, so the tail here, we got some blue and green. We've got some of our reds here, or purples, and you've got some details that are starting to come out. Actually, try this. There's gonna be a lot of lights switching around here. That's a little bit blinding, isn't it? We're just gonna have to keep it like that for now. That's as good as it gets this time. Inekron Ed. Alright. So we're gonna do this, and then we are gonna start actually putting some colors on here, but we're gonna have a nice base to paint on. All right. And I've been painting a few miniatures in oils so far, and it's been, oh, see, that's indigo. That's really cool. It's really dark, I'm sorry. But you know, this stream is mostly for hanging out. All right, so I've been painting a few miniatures now in oils, and it's been, every time it's been a better experience. You know, at first, actually, let me see. Oops. This is like the first miniature. Oh, actually, there you go. This has been like the first miniature I've tried to paint, and she has like very little contrast. Ooh, we got some oil on that. Okay. And then it's been getting better and better. Like, we got one of the latest ones I did, nice green one. Did this orc. So I feel like every time I'm learning more and more, and it's just been a pleasant experience on all fronts, really. My main, like, I always had a lot of fun painting with acrylics too. But my main problem, if you want to call it that, with them was like that acrylics, they dry really quickly. So it is really easy to get brush strokes in there that you don't want. And you know, it's just kind of, you don't have a lot of time to work with the paint that's on the mini. You put it on and it's dry. And I was thinking too, for while you stream, you know, you'll be painting and then you stop to look at the chat, and before you know it, like, you got a whole bunch of dried paint on your brush. So, as other people are saying, oils are really good for streaming, because like right now I could put this down and just, you know, have a beer or two, and then I could come back to it and it's still wet. So the no stress factor is really, really good for me. But ultimately, you just gotta go with what works for you. So these oils are actually really staining. Like, you can see, I have been wiping this thing for a whole bunch of time now, and it is still very dark. But hopefully it's fine. Let me know if it's too dark to see what the heck is going on. But yeah, so oils have been working for me. I know other people prefer acrylics, and it's great that we can have more than that we can have multiple means. Everybody can use what is best for them, what works best for them. That is really cool. Like, wow, thank you. I mean, this still looks really dirty, of course. But then it's gonna be, it feels really good when you put some paint on and it just blends. It's really nice. I think with the oils, maybe one of the things that maybe people will have a bit of that people tend to have the most difficulty getting used to, including me, is the amount of paint that you slap on your miniature. Because, you know, you see how well it blends, you get excited and you put a lot of paint on, and you tend to get, what is that? If you put too much paint on the miniature, you risk getting the mud effect, where it's like you can literally see the paint, just like chunks of paint. So it takes a little bit of getting used to that. And also you'll have like, you're gonna work with thick paint, and then the thinner paint will stick over the thicker paint and vice versa. Oh, and the other thing is, like, coming from acrylics, I used to go over the same place many times. You know, you would brush, 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 brush. And with those, you don't really want to do that, because the paint tends to overblend. If you look at my Instagram, one of the first miniatures that I painted was this very nice, sexy, like, orc lady, and she's very like pastel, because I overblended her. Like, I was trying to get some what do you call them, some highlights on her hair. Like, she had like dark black hair. I was trying to get some highlights on there, and basically I just gave her gray hair. And what you gotta do, you've gotta put a little bit of paint on, and then wait, and then put some more on, then just let the paint sit there and don't overwork it. I actually had I developed like a little bit of a method to make sure that I don't do too many brush strokes on the same part of the miniature, because it's a bad habit to get rid of. So I usually, when I'm doing my brush strokes, if I see that I start doing too many brush strokes, I'll start counting, and I'll try to keep it under 10. So, you know, I'll be like, same place, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, next, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, next. So that, I found that really helps. Alright. That is starting to look nice. How good can you see this? Because I have the stream of the video on one of my screens that's like a darker screen, and I see it really dark. I hope you can get like at least an idea of what's going on. I know that it's got like really like harsh shades, but I have to have the light a little bit over to the left, because if I put it too high up in the sky, it's gonna do a terrible like reflection all over the place, and you know, it's not too nice. Let's see if we can get a very tiny piece of sponge here pretty well. We can see the colors. Oh, thank you so much for that feedback. Yeah, I really hope this is like at least not terrible to watch, because like I think I'm liking the streaming thing. It really helps you, like, you know, you talking all the time, you keep track of what you're doing. Excuse me, this looks a little silly, but you know, we gotta get in there. It's like, all right. This lizard won't want to go to the vet for a while. We're traumatizing it. All right. Hey. So, Kinesthetic, when are you streaming next? Do you know? I know you do it pretty spur of the moment, but I'd like to come and say hi. Yeah, I know. You weren't thinking about it, right? But now you are. It's really hard to get in there. I was thinking about maybe painting the miniature first and then the base, but I really like to paint them on the base because I can get a little bit of consistency with the colors. Like I like, you know, putting some colors that are on the mini on the base, and it looks like it's more, you know, together. We are gonna need more sponges. This might actually be, let me think, yes, this is the biggest miniature that I have painted so far. I think maybe I will do something on stream in a couple of hours. Nice. So maybe I'll still be streaming. Maybe I'll raid you, you know, if you're on. Like I'll raid you before going to sleep. It's still pretty early here. It's not even 8. All right, let's see. We are getting, yes, let's make a little bit more sponges. What are you gonna be doing? What game you're gonna be playing? Or are you gonna do the walking thing? I'd love to see that. I've never been to where you are right now. Only like in the airport. So it doesn't really count. I think at least might not even have been to that particular airport. And this is taking a whole bunch. I hope the base stays. Like, this is really big, and I've got it like secured with some, what do you call it, sticky tack? Which I really like these painting handles. They're 3D printed. And what this is a like a soda cap. And you just do it like this. Like if I have other minis, I'm just gonna put them on another cap, and you just pop it on like this. Like I got other ones. They're really handy. I don't do weekends much, but hey. Oh, that's right. Is it what, Saturday today? It's you know that for us weekends don't really matter much. This weekend is just a word. Like our weekend is like during the week, and even less now. I might end up, if I do the more serious streaming thing, like I would like to get a like more permanent streaming day. It might end up being the weekend. It really depends. Let's see. You're welcome. And time is irrelevant. Yes. It's planning is futile. Time is irrelevant. And all your plans will miserably fail. But that's okay. Okay, we've got some paint right in there. And we're gonna try to cleaning it a little bit. That's why I really want to see if there is something that I can make. Like maybe a tiny piece of this on a stick I gotta talk to Wapple about this. Like something that you can use, like a tool, like, you know, like cavemen making tools. A tool that we can use to get to the most hard to reach and private parts of our miniatures. It also depends on the miniature a lot. Like some sculptors are really good at making stuff that you know, it's easy to reach with a brush. This sculpt is amazing. I really, really like it, and most of it is actually pretty easy to reach. And the, you know, the underside, it's, of course, you can't reach it because he's on, I plopped him on a base, but you know. Let's try to get to affiliate ASAP. Yes, let's try. All right. Well, it's starting to look pretty good. I really don't want too much paint to like left on the mini, but like you can see now it's got all kinds of colors going on. It's got almost this like orangish, let's see, like orangish, what do you call it, brown going on here, some reddish here, it's got some purple here, it's got some green, some blue. I think it's looking pretty good. And oh, Arcane Static, have you seen the kind of color scheme that we're gonna do for this guy? The hardest part of it for me was the average viewer count request. I know, that's gonna be hard. I feel like a lot of people that are streaming miniatures too, like it's gonna be hard if you're not, like, this miniature painting is pretty niche compared to other things like video games. So I see that even like the big ones, they'll have like a couple hundred viewers, which, you know, I mean, it's crazy, but in Twitch terms is you know, very little compared to your gaming streamers. You did not see it. Let's show it to you and just put a whole bunch of oil paints on our mouse. Let's see, where is it? So this is kind of what we're going on, and I said it before too, like this is kind of the setup that I usually do when I'm painting something, and I want like an idea of what I'm gonna be painting before I do. So I'll just get a whole bunch of reference pictures. Yeah, no, it's pretty crazy. I don't know if we're gonna go for that, but it's just to start with. And what I really like doing is doing these little, you know, not squares here, these spheres, these little circles. And what you do, like, I'm just gonna plot a whole bunch here, and then I get the color picker tool, and you know, you do this, and you're like, oh, that's the exact color that's in there. So I pick a whole bunch of them. And that really helps me, like, you know, because I don't have the artist's eye or whatever, the trained eye. So I'm going to look at the eye and I'm like, well, that looks kind of red. And then I did a bunch of color picking and these are all the colors that came out. So that's been really helping me decide what to put on the palette and, excuse me, what to highlight with. And it's been working pretty nice. So let's get back. Okay, we're back. Okay, I'm always so afraid to touch stuff with this stream. Looks awesome. I know, like when I saw this guy, I was like, I want to paint him, and I want to paint some crazy chameleon type of stuff. I know he is not completely a chameleon, and I have no idea if he's actually modeled. So I've seen some similar guys, like horns. Like he's got the horns and the tail doesn't really look like a chameleon, but then the eyes are very chameleon. I just decided I'm just gonna give him that color because this is a fantasy miniature, so what the heck do I care? Right, So it is about time to start putting some paint on this miniature. I also don't know what this ball is, like in the back. If it's like a storage tool or a boulder. So I feel like I'm just gonna give it some color. Like I have literally no idea what it could be. What do you think it could be? I know it's not very easy to see it, but it's like just a big round ball and it's secured in place. I have no idea. Well, I know this is a cart. And also I think that this guy was probably supposed to be a lot bigger. But we didn't have the printing space for it, so we just printed it like this big. I just saw a little part that wasn't painted. We gotta get rid of all that primer. Okay. All right. By the way, thanks for coming to hang out, Arcane Static. Really appreciate it, especially for the first stream. You know, I had no idea if anybody was gonna come up and join, but it's really nice to see some friends. I was just gonna paint, you know, if I was ready for nobody to turn up and I was just gonna blabber here for an hour about oil paints and stuff like that. You know, that's what you gotta do. Plus, anyway, you always got the highlight or the VOD that are left there. Okay, we got one last try that I'm gonna do to get a little bit of that off. I'm stuck. Okay, I'm good. And then we've got a bit more paint there that is not completely on. Wow, this is proving... Okay, that was proving a little hard to hit all the spots. So yeah, thank you for coming to hang out. We'll see how many other people do. This is also a maybe a weird time for the more US-based users. And also, like all the other channels that I follow, I tend to follow them like the ones that stream a lot earlier than now. So anybody that might have known my name is probably sleeping right now, but you know, who cares? It is all good. Still got a whole bunch of paints down there, but you know, might be good enough. All right. I also I didn't have time to set up any of those nice little things that, you know, make noises and show gifs when someone subs or follows or anything. So it should pop up on chat at least, so I can see it and thank the person in question. And I will eventually set that up too. I didn't have time to do it tonight. I want to do some, you know, some fun stuff too. Not too obnoxious, but, you know, some little, something nice. All right. So we're going to stop for a second and grab ourselves a little bit of chapstick because it's so damn dry in here. Just excuse me while I get... All right. Okay. Which, since we are on the art and craft channel, I made this too. And now it's going to be filled with oil. Okay. Excuse me for a second. Oh, much better. You have no idea how dry it is right now. I don't know, is it dry over there? I know it's cold where you are, Arcane Static. I'm not sure if it's dry. I think I'll take dry over humid cold though, because humid is pretty bad. All right, So let's give actually this stones here one last spongy here. And it's looking pretty good. So this is been stained marvelously, excellently. Right. Oh, there's a bit more over here. Excuse me. I think it's gonna be fun if I keep doing this to slowly get, you get the better equipment, you yourself get better at it, and it's always cool when you see a channel slowly getting better and better. Okay, so now we're gonna put all these sponges in the sponge graveyard. I have a bag for it, for all my oil stuff, but I'm not gonna put it in right now because it's gonna make a bunch of noise and we don't want that. Alright, and we're gonna wipe our fingers just a little bit. And that probably didn't make too good of a noise, but sorry about that. Alright, so now we can start putting some color in. Let's see, we can actually go pretty big with our brushes here, which I'm using like very cheap brushes from the dollar store, the equivalent at least of the dollar store. Let's briefly look at our reference pictures. So we got a whole bunch of yellow there. Yeah, there's like yellow, green. Let's try a bunch of that. Well, let's just start. Let's get a little bit of green. Let's see how that does. So you want a little bit of yellow too. Very, 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 very little paint on your brush when you're doing this. I think I forgot to turn around the palette cam now that I see it. That's pretty funny. That I did not like that. That's too much white in there. Let's redo that. A bit more yellow. Yeah, let's try that. Wow. That you might not be able to see this because the camera, but this looks like it looks like fluorescent green. It looks pretty damn bright. Like I got a like a fluorescent green acrylic, and it's pretty similar. Like oils are pretty crazy. So let's get in position here, start plopping some paint on, picking out some details. Look at that. Already it's kind of like a dry brush, like less detail, more detail. That's pretty nice. Okay, maybe even a little more just green. It's off camera because it's really white. Actually, not that much, but yeah, it's pretty burned out white. But I am wiping my brush onto a piece of paper, actually. Let's just get just a little bit. Just an idea or a suggestion, like Bob Ross would say. It's a suggestion of a piece of paper. So this is really cool. As we gently brush a little bit of paint on our miniature, it is gonna blend with what's on there. And usually whoops, that was the microphone. Hope you like that. I usually take a whole bunch of time on this part. I used to just be very patient and just go like get a whole lot of paint on my brush, but that did not look too good. Let me check my references a bit more. It is a bit more yellow down there, so let's get a bit more yellow. Let's actually get some yellow and some, what is that called? Yellow ochre, which is one of my favorite colors in terms, that's already looking really cool. Thank you. Thank you. In terms of utility, this yellow ochre is, I'm liking it a lot as a mixer. You see now we're getting like all the detail. You really like this. This camera is not too forgiving. I can try to see if it'll focus a little bit. This is not gonna feel too good, but bear with me. Might be able to get just a little bit better, but maybe not. But you know, we tried. But anyway, we're starting to get a whole bunch of details out. Like this this sculpt has all these tiny little dots, and you know, your general like lizard skin details. So just gonna put some there, some there. It's starting to look pretty cool. We got some nice yellow here going on. Okay. I think my voice was kind of trailing off at some point. I do like, this is so much fun. I do tend to sometimes just kind of forget myself, forget where I am, just get very engrossed in the activity. So, you know, just feel free to comment in the chat, like if you need me to change the volume or anything, just, you know, make yourself heard. All right, so let me readjust my posture here. There you go. And we're gonna keep going. What color are we gonna make them here? We don't know. For now, we're just gonna be adding a little bit yellow. And so the other cool thing is that, like right now, I have my yellow on my brush. And even if I didn't change the color that I have on the brush, because there are different colors of paint on the miniature, the color is going to look a little different because, of course, the yellow is going to mix with a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, we didn't put our off-white on the palette, which I think I'm going to start using in a bit. Check. I've got this Naples yellow. God. All right. Which has been working as a decent off-white for me. We're just gonna put it over here, a little bit off the palette cam, but you can see it in the other camera. I'm not too convinced about this yet. I might try, what is that called? I think it's called ivory white in oil paints, and it's an even lighter yellowish white, which is, I want to get it because when you do highlights, if you mix too much white into your color, it just, like, white kind of dulls other colors down a bit. That's what it tends to do. And it also makes stuff look pretty cold, which, you know, you might want that sometimes, but not always. So I wanted to try a nice, like a pale yellow off-white kind of thing. And I tried this Naples yellow, and, you know, it's nice, but it's not convincing me 100%. Like, when I mix it with other things, it tends to get a little bit lost in there. But I still think we're probably gonna find some good uses for it. You know what? It actually works really nice. When I did get a little bit of white and green. Okay, when I did, what did I do? The skin tones, actually, I used to take this Terra Rosa, which is a great color to have if you're doing skin tones, mixing it with the yellow ochre, a bit of yellow sometimes, a bit of the magenta or vermilion for skin tones, and you know, just different shades of white skin, of pale skin. But lately I found that if I mix the Terra Rosa with just the Naples yellow, it actually makes a pretty good light skin tone. So that is one use we have for it. That is pretty nice. All right. Okay. So for now, we're just putting some colors in, you know, even a little bit on the base, because who cares? Slop it up. If you hear like a tick every once in a while, that's my brush touching the mic. So I hope that is not too loud. That's cool. Let's try to put a little bit of that reddish brown in there. Let me check that a little bit more. Like on the eye, maybe. A little bit of Terra Rosa, which, if you translate it like in Italian, like it literally means pink earth. I don't know, maybe the pigment comes from a special earth. I was reading about the Naples yellow, and apparently, at least originally, the pigment that they used was called that, a bit more red, because it was actually in like a volcanic earth or stone that could be found in the volcano that's by Naples. So that's, it sounded like that is where it came from. Of course, take it with a grain of salt, because I just read it somewhere. And if anybody knows better, just let me know. But I thought it was pretty cool. Oils are pretty fascinating because they've been around for ages. And you know, sometimes you're using like a specific color. Doing a bit of that red there in the eye. I'm liking it. And you're using a color and you're like, wow, you know, this great artist was using this hundreds of years ago. It's pretty cool. I like that. Okay. What are we gonna do next? I think I want to do a bit of the upper body there, which is more like green. So we're gonna we are going pigment. Did I say it wrong? Or are you just repeating what I said? Let me know if I said something weird. As I said before, I gave you the disclaimer, the silly alert. Oh, typo. Oh, sorry, I didn't see there used to be, oh, a piggy. That's cute. You should have left it. I'm gonna start calling pigments piggy now. So there used to be a pigment that was made from ground up mummies. You know what? I think I heard something like that. Do you have can you look that up? I'd love to know that. So you're literally painting with people, like I am now. Like I'm painting with people, together with people, but at some point in history, people were actually painting with real people. That is fascinating and creepy. Okay, so let's take some of our phthalo green and a little bit of that permanent green, pale, and a little bit of yellow on the other side, and then wipe it off a lot. And I think I'm going to start just doing the top half of the body. And first, we just throw down some colors, and then we're going to worry about the finer details later. I don't know if I want to keep the forecrest here, the reddish brown it is, or make it all kind of green. I think for now I'm just going to give it a bit of green, see what it looks like. Mummy brown. Alright, I'm not gonna click on that right now, but I will later. I just don't want, you know, funny things to happen on the stream, but thank you for finding that. Actually, if you wanna drop that on the Discord, feel free. Mummy Brown. That sounds nice. Wasn't there, like a type of makeup that like geisha used to use that was made with bird excrement? Or was that just a myth? There, I'm sure a lot of fascinating things have been happening in history. Well, you know, one thing is like if you don't know it's toxic, you're just gonna use it. Like someone was saying on another stream where we were talking about, you know, not putting the brush in your mouth if you're painting with oils. Like you can try everything at least once. Yes, and then the Darwin law is gonna kick in. Thanks for looking that up. That's really interesting. I'm gonna give that a read. Okay, so we're starting to see some color here. We got some yellows down here, some greens up here, and it's still very, very at the first stages. Let's look at the cart a little bit. There's a lot going on. I think there's the most obvious thing I can see is the wood. It's got, you probably can't see it much, but it's got a very woody pattern to it. So I'm gonna start coloring that as wood. I might actually put in a little bit of, yeah, actually, let me change the brush. Sorry for cutting off my sentences all the time. It's a thing I do. Let's see, let's get another brush. This one, smaller one. Yeah. No, I don't like this one. I want another one. This one, maybe. Yeah, I want to start getting that OSL in a little bit. See if we can do anything with it. Let's see. A little bit of, what is that? It's red. Okay. A bit darker. So we've got our cadmium red, our quinacridone magenta, and a little bit of the vermilion. I'm gonna slap it on a bit. Hey, Brianna O'Hearn, welcome. Yes, that's exactly what I was saying. And welcome to the chat. With thanks for bringing pearls of wisdom. All right, I actually got distracted by the eyes, but I was gonna paint some OSL in here. Actually, I need a slightly bigger, let's use this one, brush. So, I'm the one with the dog. Oh, you're that one. Well, in that case, nice to meet you, and compliments for that adorable doggo, which I enjoyed the video very much. And thanks for coming to hang out. That is very appreciated. Let me know how you're doing. If you had a good morning, what you had for breakfast. I am always up for food talks. I'm Italian, so that's, you know, we don't shut up. We just when we're supposed to shut up, we just revert to the default food talk. So all right, so we're just putting in a little bit of red there, and that's probably just going to become a little bit of OSL. And you know, of course, this might also turn out terribly wrong and look terrible, but that's how you learn. You just gotta try stuff. And with the oils, it's really cool because you can, it's really easy to correct yourself because they stay dry for a whole bunch of time. Nice to meet you too. She loves compliments, I'm sure she does. And well, speaking of dry, I'm gonna take Well, I'm gonna salute you here with the Belgian white that we're having tonight. And with my crackly voice, courtesy of the very dry winters here. All right. Well, I think we need a little bit of burnt umber in here, which this is really interesting. And I need it to be a, oh yes, let's add a bit of yellow ochre to our burnt umber. Yeah, it looks good. And a little bit of thinner. There you go. It's been really interesting with the burnt umber. That's, I don't know if other people have that, but for me, that's the color that dries the fastest by a whole bunch. That is the only oil color I have, one of the only, I would have to say, that it will start like getting not dry, but harder right on the palette. So I don't know why. I think it's just, you know, different colors. All right, so we're putting in a little bit of umber, and we're still very dark, so it's probably a little hard for you guys to see much change when I go in with a layer of oils. Like here, we got some brown coming in. I think you can see a little bit. There you go. So just putting a hint of what color we're gonna have, and you know, if we keep working on all the pieces of the miniature together, we're really gonna see how it's gonna evolve, how it's gonna become. Okay, getting inside a little awkward spot in there. All right, there's a little throne, which is really cute in there. Probably gonna make it red or purple. Like purple is very aristocratic, which is what this card kind of looks. It looks really fancy. It's got a little railing that could totally be, you know, gold lacquered. And what's another color we can put on the wood? Maybe just a little bit of straight up Terra Rosa. Yes. Oh, I know what color we can put on wood. We can put some purple on the wood. Why not? So, Brianna, I really hope you're liking it in the new place that you guys are at. I don't know how much of the language you speak, but I hope that that part of the deal is gonna be good for you. And I hope you guys are having a whole bunch of fun exploring your new place. You like it a lot. I'm glad. There's like we have been moving a lot in the past few years, and every time one of the most fun things is to just go explore the neighborhood. We love just, you know, taking long walks. Is that wood? No, that is a piece of cloth. Yes. Just, you know, take long walks, get into a convenience store, get some drinks, explore the neighborhood, and we keep finding new stuff in our place right now. Like, we haven't been here for long already. Like, there are still things that, wow, this place was here. We found a really cool bar a few weeks ago, and I just discovered that we actually have a thing that you call that a game store not far from here, which we had no idea was there. Okay, we said we were gonna put a little bit of purple there, but I have been going at it for a while and on the wood, and I do want to let it sit. Otherwise, I'm gonna start stripping paint. And Brianna is a bit farther along in German than Vincent, but not by much. Well, you're probably already better than I am with my 13 years of German that have been completely forgotten because it was a long time ago, longer than I want to admit. But yeah, you know, the best way to learn language is to just immerse in it and just hearing it every day. It'll be pretty quick. So let's get a little bit of our indigo and a little bit of our white, a little bit more white, a bit more. All right. And just a tad of Van Dyke Brown maybe. And let's, yeah, ooh, no, I think we can go a lot. Like mainly white. Okay, I like that. Just start doing a little bit of this space and let the lizard breathe for a bit. Found a place with chickens a few blocks away last weekend, and we also found a game store, but it's closed until the 10th. Oh, that's right. With chickens, like, what do you do with them? Do you buy the eggs? Is that a zoo, petting zoo, or are they just, you know, dead and you eat them? Please feel more details. Well, that sounds good. The game store, I mean, sounds like you have something to look forward to. Can you see a little bit of that? And like if I take some like straight white, for example, on my brush, wipe off a bit and just go like this, you can see how like it is not straight white, but you'll get some pretty nice, you'll pick out some details. It's really cool. It's like a community garden, but for small livestock. Those Germans, they think of all of them. That sounds fun. I like that. Well, let me know how the game center is when you guys go there. Just gonna get a bit of Van Dyke Brown here with some burnt umber. Yes. Like that. And go a little bit underneath. A bit more white. You can walk up to the fence and see the chickens. That sounds cool. Kids are probably gonna like it. Kids and Vincent, which are two unrelated entities, but if it was Mike and I, Mike would probably start talking to them. There was this one place that we used to live at, and they had these like this little walkway with these fountains with fish in them, like, you know, goldfish. Mike used to always go talk to the fish, like do the thing with the mouth that they do. And you could not disturb him if he was doing that. Like, it was his thing. We had to just stop by and let him talk to the fish for a while, and then we were done. The dog likes it, I'm sure she does, especially if she hasn't seen chickens in her life. She gets confused. Does she, like, not know what she's supposed to do? Like, am I supposed to protect the masters? Am I supposed to play with them? Am I supposed to haunt them? Eat them? Okay. I do want to try to put some color on that tent thing. Oh, what color could we put? So, okay. We've got... Oh, Brianna, for you too, we're... this is our reference, and we might or might not end up doing it like this, but this is kind of what I'm looking at. Because I really like this kind of color. So I'm trying to think which colors to use for the cart that's on top, because I haven't planed anything for it. And I'm thinking maybe leathers for the straps that go down the body, and they go, yeah, I think they go around the tail a bit too. Maybe like a, yeah, like a dark brown maybe. But then we've got like this cloth. I could try to go with sort of like a purple. Let's try it a bit. let's see, use this brush. All right, and let's do a bit of white, but then also if we add a little bit, yes, like a more pinkish kind of purple. All right, let's see how that looks. Not too bad, not too bad. This could work, actually. It might be nice. Maybe more on the purple, though, than on the red. More on the colder side of things. Yes. Yeah, that could be cool. I don't think I want to do it like green, because we're going to have a lot of greens, and we're going to have reds and blues. So maybe we could do a more purple kind of thing, but we can change it anytime. Wow, this is hard to turn without dropping it. Looks really cool, thank you. I mean, the reference pictures, I thought they were pretty cool too. We'll see what kind of thing we end up doing. Okay, if you can see it there. Again, this might be a little dark, but as long as we can get a hint of what I'm doing and we can chat and have fun, I think that's going to be a good achievement for a first stream. What do you say? We almost didn't stream because the audio was very, very crappy in the beginning and we couldn't figure out what that was, but then thanks to a really good moderator, we were able to go live eventually. And it sounds like it's not sounding too bad, apart from the scratchy, dry voice. It sounds like I just had 15 cigarettes, which I didn't. All right. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good hint of purple. Gonna have to remember to do the colors in there first and then outside, because there's some holes in here. I don't know, you can see this like ledge here. No, it's not a ledge. It's like this like protection part here with the wood. It actually has a hole in it and you can see the curtain through. It's like a window almost. So I kind of have to go in there with a smaller brush probably later. So hopefully we remember to do that. And then just a little bit of purple on the stones, because why not? All right, let's get, you know what, just a little bit of yellow, which turned into sort of like a green. Dilute it just a tad. That was more than a tad. Okay. There you go. And then just very lightly stick a few more details onto that wood. All right. Hey. There you go. I like that. Yes. There's also the sort of like saddle here and these things. No idea what these things are. Which are gonna be some color at some point. Let's see. Let's do a little bit more color on the body of this guy. Let's look at our reference picture one more time here. Kind of like a lot of stripes going on. Okay. Let's try to get a bit more bright yellow then. Let's see if we can start picking out a few details. And let me see what kind of, oh, could I use this one? No, that's too small. Yeah, let's keep using this one. Just wipe it a bit. Okay. It's not sitting right. Okay. Let's wipe this a bit. Sorry for blinding you with the light. There you go. Wipe that, wipe our face, put a bunch of oil on it. Take a sip of beer, most important part. And let's take some straight up yellow. It needs a little bit of thinner, because when I made this one, it was pretty thick. It was one of the first oils that I pre-thinned, and I didn't use enough thinner. I pre-thin my oil paints, and I put them in these containers because it's a lot easier to use them than when they are in this kind of form. Hold on for a second. Like this. This is how oils usually come. And yeah, they're very thick. They're not the easiest thing to use. I think I want to use a fresh brush, actually. Let's see. Give me... I have so many brushes. I get choosy. Alright, let's use a bit of that. See how that looks. Alright. Beer is important, and I mean, said by you. Beer is important sometimes. Especially good beer. No, I don't like this brush. We're going back to the other one. Yes, okay. So we're doing this, a little bit there, and then maybe here. Start getting some stripy kind of thing going on. And in the beginning, I'm not worrying too much if the paint is not too blended, as long as it's not chunky, because oils take a whole bunch of time to dry, and later I can go on with a dry, clean brush, and I can, oops, sorry, that was the microphone, and I can actually blend the colors later using a clean brush like this one. Needed for fuel. More electric, no liquid fuel. Yeah, milk tea, right? Can you find the like the cartons of milk tea there, like you do here? I'm curious. And yes, he does run on sugar. Somehow he does. All right. Yeah, we're slowly building up that nice color. So let's see, now we gotta do a little bit of a mirror type of thing. Let's see that, if I use just a little bit of white, okay. So wipe it. We're still always wiping it on my piece of paper here. So it's here, mirror it over here. And I love how these colors are mixing. And then this one would be starting here, so it would be about here. All right. I do too, so it works out. Oh wow, it's a match made in heaven. It's a tragedy. I haven't had that blue. Oh, the milk. Oh no, I need to send you one. Man, why didn't you say so? You know, got you, buddy. You just gotta ask for that care package. Ask and you shall receive milk tea. I remember we used to buy it just for you. I have, yeah, I knew, I love you too. I have very rare cravings for those milk cartons for a very specific reason, and that is because when I moved here, I was waiting for my couch surfing family that I was gonna stay with for like the first 2 days. and I was waiting in this remote station for this random girl to pick me up, and it was winter, and it was cold, it was January, and there was a vending machine with hot beverages, which was pretty new to me. And I remember that the first hot beverage that I got from a vending machine here was the milk tea, which is also kind of a novelty for me, I want to say, because in Italy we don't really put milk in tea. I mean, maybe some people do, but it's not really a thing you do. It's more of a maybe like a British thing to do. So I really have this strong memory of just, wondering what my life was gonna be at that point, drinking that thing. So sometimes I get nostalgic. Rolling up into D&D with 2 liters of milk tea specifically for me, yeah. Yeah, sometimes you came with your own, and you also had the one that we bought for you, and then you didn't finish it because you never finished it, so it stayed in our fridge for a whole bunch of time. That and like Megan's drinks, because she drank like those like 13,000 calories chocolate milk things that I never even touched, and she just left them in the fridge, and that's where they stayed for a whole another week until they came back. Vince is basically like an ancient British dude. How true. If you had to describe him, you see, I'm already putting too many brushstrokes on this area because I am getting a little distracted, but it's fine. We are still in acceptable parameters, but you can see how much is blending instead of being more yellow. So that's when you gotta stop and just work on another area, like a good, responsible person. We took good care of you, I hope so. Thanks for saying that. She did, right? I loved getting her all the different like weird sours, like the peach ones, all the sweet stuff, because she just loved that stuff. Well, some people just have a very sweet tooth. I really don't. I actually prefer salty stuff. But sometimes you get those evenings when you're like, chocolate is my life this evening, and the important thing is balance. Okay, let's go green a bit over here. Like a good, responsible person. Yeah. Well, it's like a metaphor or whatever, a euphemism. You can be responsible and still do silly things. Or at least that's what we want to believe. Okay, I really like the yellow here. So we're going to go on and do a bit more of that. Maybe with another brush. My nose is itching. I'm sure I gave myself a whole bunch of new makeup courtesy of the oils, but So, excuse me while I reach for my other brushes. All right, let's see here. Do some more yellow here. And I'm always just brushing it gently. And like I said at the beginning of the stream, I like doing this thing where I count the brushes. I'm not doing it now, so that's why I spent a whole bunch of time here and I shouldn't have. But, if you come from acrylics and you're used to just going over and over and over the same place, I like to do this thing where I try not to go over 10 brush strokes. So, I'll be like, okay, this side, this piece, I'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's good. Next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And that really helps if you're trying to, you know, detox yourself from using the acrylics. It's just two completely different methods. Oh, Dio is back. Hello. So we got a little bit of color going on here. I hope you can see a little bit. We've been so I believe when you went away, I will need to go back and watch the yeah, like when you were away, we were still slapping a whole bunch of what now is this black hole here on the palette, and then we took let me show you exactly. We took like it took all of these sponges. That's all the paint that we were slopping on when you were here. So then we used the sponges, and that left this nice staining on the whole mini. And now we're very slowly kind of like dry brushing the oils on. We've done a bit of purple up here. We're slowly putting like a yellowish color. Sorry about that, on the lower body. And then we're going to build up to a more bluish green. Yes, a lot of color, and it's only going to get better. I think it's looking pretty good. Let me see. Okay, so it is still a mystery what that ball is supposed to be. If it's, you know what? I just had a, I think I got this. So if you see, there's this ball on his back, and I was wondering before what it could be, because it's very round. And I was just looking at it now, and it's got a bunch of scratches. And it hit me, I'm like, it's probably a cannonball. You know, I mean, it might be really big, but maybe he's just carrying a cannonball. So I guess it's a cannonball. So maybe we could make it more bouldery kind of style. So let's get, sorry, let's take another sip of beer here. Cheers. Sorry, forgetting the English word for cheers. Ugh, don't mind if I do. And what were we gonna do? Cannonball. Okay, let's get some white and indigo and start with that. So we're with oils, right after you do your pre-glaze and wipe it all off, you start putting in color very lightly with this, almost like there's very little paint on the brush, but it will stick. So it's almost like a dry brush, but it will actually blend, unlike a dry brush with acrylics. So here, you know, the starting to get a little bit of that bolder type of gray color. And we don't have to fill in all of the color now. Just keep hinting at it a bit. You see, just pop a little bit there and then just let it be. And then just, you know, go around the miniature and keep making sure that you're working on all of it at the same time. All right. And you know, like right now, I'm putting it a bit everywhere. And as I go on, I will start separating it more and more and more. So, how was the ride home? That didn't take too long. Or maybe it did, and, you know, time flies when you're having fun. But I hope you had a good ride home, that if you got on the train, that it wasn't too crowded. Let's see. Ooh, well, before doing, okay, so there's this little lantern over here, tiny little lantern. So we're gonna do a little bit of object source lighting. So let's make a little bit of orange. Oops. Get a bit yellow here. Yeah, that looks good. Dilute it a bit. This red, cadmium red, is very strong. It's also very expensive. A lot of people in the train where it is Saturday today, right? Yes, it is Saturday today. So, well, yesterday we were walking around a bit at night and it was so many people. I mean, mainly couples, because here Christmas is kind of like the couples thing. So it was couples everywhere. Couples, and then at second place I would say it was like workers. I need another sponge. The sponges are always good also for correcting mistakes. Like this smudge here. I don't know if you can see, but this little smudge, I smudged a little bit of red on the horn there. And usually when we're doing this with acrylics, it's like, oh my god, now I have to go all over it. You go to take it off and it doesn't come off. Well, this is why I like oils. It's off in a second. Even if I had left it there for a half hour, I could have still wiped it off. I really like a combination of red and purple. Looks royal like. Thank you. That's actually what I was going for, so I'm really glad to hear that. I thought purple was not in any other of the colors here in the lizard dude. So that is nice of you to say that. Oh, so yeah, I was saying that the red here is actually pretty expensive because differently than most acrylics, oils actually have different prices for different colors, which depend mainly on what kind of pigment is used and you know, how pure and high quality the pigment is. A bit on brand too. So cadmium red and most of the cadmiums are going to be pretty pricey. Almost ruined. No. We got our makeup sponge to save the day. But yeah, so like, let me see. Oh yeah, okay, this Naples yellow was about like $4 maybe. And the same amount of cadmium red is more like 12, if you want to say in dollars. Well, you know, you get the idea. So that's actually, the red is one of the last colors that I got. Because, you know, I started with a cheap,